There was a school shooting. We need more gun control. Drug addiction. We need a war on drugs. Saturated fat. Government must control that. But this rulemaking based on fear is bad policy, even if the scares are real. Because when we're scared, when there's a new frightening threat, we don't think rationally. I was once the lonely guy on Fox's TV show Outnumbered. At that time, the scare of the moment was Ebola.
What should the president do next?
He should get up and say, this is an overhyped risk being pumped by news media like us, and especially you women who are more scared of Ebola than men. I'm being really sexist here. But there are real risks in life, and Ebola is
not one of them.
It may prove to be. It's unlikely. It's hard to catch.
We still don't know that much about the Ebola virus.
Why isn't it better to be safe and not sorry? And I don't think we are prepared to handle this. Being prepared never hurts.
After the show, I said I'd bet any one of them that more Americans will be killed that year by deer than Ebola. They laughed at me. But it turned out that year only one American died of Ebola, while about 200 were killed by deer, colliding with them in cars. But nobody worries about deer or driving. We should. We aren't scared of stairs or house fires and swimming pools, even though they kill thousands of people. We're terrified by new threats like Ebola. And that fear is a friend of the state, because when people get frightened, they willingly give money and power to politicians and bureaucrats. Protect me, make sure I'm safe. So big government grows. During World War II, Americans feared immigrants from Japan might be secret enemies, so America locked many of them up.
The 120,000 Japanese and Japanese Americans living on the West Coast were rounded up and taken to internment camps where they would spend the duration of the war.
Most of the people locked up were American citizens, and later the government apologized for the internment, said it was race prejudice and war hysteria. America paid $20,000 to each camp survivor. The internment was hysteria. But did the media point that out? Hardly. Most acted like shills for big government. Listen to this from Movie Tone.
Japanese evacuated from strategic West Coast areas show little apparent regret. They seem relieved, and some say it's like a holiday.
Like a holiday, right. At least the Japanese internment camps are gone. Usually the scares fade, but bigger government stays big. You may have forgotten about the Enron bankruptcy, but the hundreds of pages of the bureaucratic Sarbanes-Oxley Act that was supposed to prevent such things lives on. And of course, Sarbanes-Oxley didn't prevent the next financial problem. And in the panic over this, we got the even more bureaucratic, 1,000 pages long Dodd-Frank law. Yet, this won't prevent the next financial scare. And when that comes, government will grow again. Well, the Bernie Sanders Total Protection Act will come. And it'll be this long. The scares come and go, but government, it always grows. People fear they can't afford health insurance, we get Obamacare. People fear terrorists, the Senate votes 100-0 to form the TSA, which now stands for Thousands Standing Around. Governing based on fear is bad government. In free countries, without this stuff, life gets better. Despite the terrorist threat, we're safer than ever, we live longer than ever, and better lives than ever. The Democratic presidential candidates lied at the last debate. Poor people in America have been getting richer, not poorer. There is one threat to this progress, and that's what should scare us this Halloween. And I'm glad some of you reminded me about it when I ask on social media, what do you fear? Gerald Furkrantz tweeted us, our government scares me. Politicians' lies and corruption. On Facebook, Brian Augstad says he's afraid of the state stealing my money, freedom, encroaching on every area of my life. Yes, guys, I fear that too. And government steals more money and more freedom every time people get scared. That's why it was good news to me that lots of people in Times Square were so sensible. What do you fear in life?
Well, there's not a lot that I fear.
Nothing at all.
I don't fear anything. Bring it on.
Nothing?
No, not really.
Because you know what? I want to experience all that life has to offer, and I know that if I don't enjoy life, it'll pass me by.
Right, so please go enjoy life and happy Halloween.